YouTube? I'm King Shanks, this is Drovid's Finest, and I am back with Shadowrun Dragonfall, part 52. I know the last episode I said 50, but it was actually 51, because I'm a dumbass. Anyways, first things first, I'm talking to my beautiful woman here. My mysteriously beautiful woman. For the first time since you've met, Glory's expression seems to brighten. It's subtle, but it's there. You're sure of it. Gurgle Squirt, a pleasure as always. Need anything from me? Oh god, she wants to talk crazy talk. Okay, we can talk crazy talk. How are you doing, Glory? Golden as always, Gurgle Squirt, no problem here. If I didn't know any better, I'd swear you were warming up to me. Are you ready to tell me about that chrome you're sporting? Any thoughts about our last run? Just wanted to hear the sound of your voice. Take it easy, Glory. She studies your face for a moment before responding. I suppose, in case you're wondering, I said, I swear you're warming up to me. Because she's warming up to me. Before responding, I suppose that you might say that. I don't talk to many people, Gurgle Squirt. It just doesn't seem to be worth the effort. Sounds like me. Seriously, like really. Besides here, when I'm talking to a camera, I don't really talk to very many people. I'm a very personal person. Very personal person. Okay. I don't really feel much anymore. Not since... Ooh, she might be telling me something. She caresses the chrome of her forearm with a hand made of articulated steel. This. If that's true, why are you still talking to me? I suppose because you've shown an interest, and because you haven't let me push you away. She locks eyes with you. Her expression is blank. I don't want to mislead you, Gurgle Squirt. I still don't feel anything. Not warmth or friendship or even trust. But I can appreciate the effort you're making. It's something new, and it's worthy of exploring. I'm really starting to like this girl. She gets me. She gets me. Oh, yeah. It's great. Are you ready to tell me about that chrome you're sporting? That seems kind of rude to ask after she was just like, after this, I don't feel anything. But if she's feelingless and emotionless like me, then she won't care. I'm getting there, Gurgle Squirt, but you'll have to give me some time. The answers will come when they do. Okay. You said that things went bad when you turned 14. I'd like to keep talking about that. She stares at you, her face expressionless. No, I'd rather not. Why not? Because I didn't see a reason to. The memories are unpleasant, and dredging them up doesn't serve any real purpose. You're wrong about that. The last time we talked, it had an impact on you. That's reason enough to continue. Fair enough, I'll give you your space. No. I will not give you space. She pauses a moment to consider your words, a troubled look on her face. I suppose that's true. Feeling discomfort is better than feeling nothing at all. I don't know. I mean, if it's syphilis, that might not be a great thing to be feeling. That's pretty unpleasant. Anyways. Alright, here's the deal, Gurgle Squirt. I'm going to talk, you listen. When I'm done, I'm done. No complaints and no arguments. And we'll see what happens. Deal? Deal. This is all getting way too serious. Keep your life story to yourself. No, it's a deal. Right. 1,000-meter stare creeps back into Glory's eyes. A moment later, she's locked away in her own head again, reliving memories that she'd long since fled away. Is that fled or filed away? Sorry. So a few days after my 14th birthday, I began to express magically. Judging from what I saw in your aura, you're awakening. Judging from what I saw in your aura, your awakening must have been an incredible thing. You're magically active? Should have figured that you were a burnout. That why you went nuts with the discount chrome. You couldn't hack it as a street mage. Go on, Glory. Go on, Glory. She said she's gonna talk, and I listen. So, that's what's happening. I'm not gonna do any stupid fucking questioning, anything that... I'm not gonna get smart ass here. I'm gonna listen to what she's gonna say. There's another long pause, and Glory becomes more animated. Anyway, I turned 14. I awakened. I don't even remember how my parents found out about it anymore. I think that my dad caught me playing with a tiny city spirit that I coaxed out of a pile of garbage, something like that. With everything that happened afterward, those days are kind of a blur. What I do remember is my father's response to the revelation that his little girl was a witch, a hexe. I think that might be a misspell. Hex-A? A hex, maybe? I don't know. Or a hex-E? I don't know what the fuck. Whatever. He beat the living shit out of me with his fists, and then his belt, and then a claw hammer that he grabbed out of the toolbox. All the while, my mother was screaming and flailing at him. She took a couple of licks with the hammer, too. It's a miracle that you survived. I'd very much like to murder your father. What about the neighbors? Didn't anyone call the police? I know that means police. I don't know what the other one means. Pro security? Security, maybe? I don't know. I'm just going to say I'd very much like to murder your father. It's a common sentiment, believe me, but I appreciate the thought. So finally, after what felt like an hour, Dad stopped tuning me up with the hammer. I had broken ribs, a busted arm. I couldn't see out of my left eye. My entire right side was covered with one giant bruise. I was bleeding all over the place, making a real mess of the carpet. The old bastard spat on me, his bleeding, crying daughter. He spat on me and told me that I was des Truffaut's whore. Truffaut's whore? The devil's whore. Then he kicked me out of the house. Well, I've been called worse than that, so whatever. Alright. That is a pretty cool story, though. I mean, not cool. Like, that's, like, horrible. If anything like that ever happens in real life, that's, you know, that's why my response was I would like to murder your father, because honestly, I really would. But to have something like that and it's a very detailed story, just what happened there. So that's what I mean. It's not cool, like good or anything, but it's very detailed and very well thought through. Falling away, my father told me that if he or any of the Kreuzritter brothers ever saw me again, they'd treat me as the Berlin chapter treats the enemies of God. If you're not familiar with how the Kreuzritters here in Berlin deal with heretics, it's decidedly less pretty than what my dad and his buddies did to their victims. I got the hint. The next morning, I hitched a ride out of Stuttgart. You were a human girl, presumably with an ID. Why didn't you go to the hospital? Gutsy move. You were a smart kid. Go on. I am just listening. I'm not... Well, besides the murdering the dad part. I wound up in Tübingen. I figured it'd be a safe enough place to find medical attention and maybe to call home. It's not far from Stuttgart. but it has a huge student community that I figured I could blend into, and the university there has a decent magic department. My ride dropped me off at the university hospital, and they patched me up pretty good. I had some questions for me about how I got beaten up. I lied and told them that I had been mugged, which played nicely into my complete lack of cash, credit, and identification. Ah, see, I should have asked about the ID. If I did, she may have gotten mad and stopped talking to me. Eh? I can talk to women as long as they're as unemotionally connected to the world as me. I'm good at this. Glory pauses for a moment and looks down at the floor. Then she fixes her eyes on you. She is visibly tense. We're gonna fast forward through the next few years. I was a kid on the streets. I got the best I could, doing whatever I had to do. The rest we can leave up to your imagination. Good? Doing whatever she had to do. I don't know about that. I kind of know about that, but I don't want to know about that. Anyways. Good? You did what you had to do. I'm no stranger to that myself. I am a stranger to that, sorry. I don't think that anyone working in the shadows is. Of course. I only need to hear what you're comfortable talking about, nothing more. Seems like a better answer than just good, instead of also calling myself a whore. Oh, anyways, good. Glory's clenched jaws relaxes somewhat, and the tension drains out of her shoulders. Thanks. So anyways, I lived on the streets for a few years, got used to being hungry all the time, got used to getting rained on, got by. I was painfully aware that I had magical talents, but without any kind of training or guidance, I didn't really know how to use or develop them. Truth be told, they scared me, so I more or less ignored them. So it's just sort of went like that until a few days after my 17th birthday. Then I met Marta, and everything changed. Okay. Marta was a sweet girl. At first, I took her for a street kid like me. Her clothes were a little ratty, and she seemed comfortable being near me. But she also looked well-fed and happy, and those were two things that I hadn't been in years. We started hanging out, and before I knew what was happening, I was in love. Ah, so you are a lesbian. Good, good. You know who she looks like? She looks like Mila Kunis, this Glory girl. Seriously, I've been wondering, like, who does she remind me of? Mila Kunis. Right? Right? Am I right or am I wrong? Please, write in the comments. Am I right or am I wrong about that? I swear to God, she really does. There was a genuine attraction between Marta and me, I think, but I also think that a lot of my affection for her came from the fact that she was the first person in years to give a damn about me. She cared and I loved her for it. Glory pauses. She looks flustered. Her composure cracked. Keep going, Glory. She stares at you for a beat, then nods. A few ragged breaths later, she continues. Marta told me about a place where she'd been hanging out. She invited me to join her there. It was called Fusahir, the fireplace. Okay, we'll just call it the fireplace then. And it was sort of a commune for dispossessed Jews? Dispossessed Jews. Man, she has a lot to talk about this time. Holy crap. This is going to take up the whole episode. I might almost be out of time, actually. Less than a minute. So, I'm just going to end the timer, and when I'm done talking to... Yeah, I have 5 seconds left. When I'm done talking to Glory, I'll end the episode then. And tomorrow we'll come back and hopefully get to another battle. But this game has a lot of interesting storyline. I really, really like it. So, sorry if you don't like storylines and everything. Don't watch these episodes, I guess, but I do like them. It turns out that a lot of the street kids I'd known over the years had moved there. The way that they disappeared, I assumed that they had been kidnapped or killed or had gone back to their parents, but they were there. But there they were, sorry. I remember being kind of angry about it, like, how did everybody get the memo about this but me? Straight up. Marta calmed me down. She was good at helping me work through my feelings, and I wound up following her to Fireplace, or Fire Pit, or whatever it is, to a street kid. It was basically paradise. The owner, a guy named Haro, had set up this little farm just outside of Tübingen and Schronbach Forest, in the Schronbach Forest, sorry. The Schronbach is officially a nature park, but not many people go there nowadays. Not too much fear of paranormal animals, I guess. Whoa, paranormal animals. Am I gonna fight those? I want to. Anyways, park or not, it was plenty big enough for us to hide in. It was also safe and pretty, and the farm was well stocked with food. Most importantly, Fire Pit gave us a sense of community and stability that we'd never had on the street, and we loved Haro for that. He became like a surrogate father to us. Glory pauses again when you recognize the distinctive flush in her cheeks. She seems to have come out of her reverie once again. That's enough for now. I need to process all of this, and I don't want to continue forward until I've had the chance to do so. I know that this all happened years ago, but I guess it's still pretty raw to me. So I'm gonna ask you to give me some space for a while. She turns away, and the frost begins to creep back into her voice. We can pick it up. We can pick it back up later. Okay. And just for good measure, I'm gonna go pet my pooch. Go pet my pooch. Just before I end the episode, I'm gonna go pet my pooch. I really wish I could get Poochie Boy to come with me into the battles. You look down. Oh yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same thing every time. Okay, pet him, sit, play dead. I always just pet him. I'll just pet him again. Good boy. Who's a good boy? Okay. And it is right now. The direction arrow is pointing me to Monica's, my mission computer. So, in the next one, I'll have to talk to Amsel first, I think, and see about him getting that transfer from the other guy from my last mission. And then I'll go to the mission computer. Ugh, so much talking. But the storyline is really good so far. It's really great, but they could have just eased up on some of the talking. But I'm really liking Glory's story. Like, so far, all I really know is that her dad beat the crap out of her. She does have connection to magic, and maybe Firewing or whatever his name is. Yeah, I don't know. It's a mystery, and I still want to find out how she came to lose her arms and legs and is like a robot and everything. She's like a really cool character in this. I think she's meant to be one of the main characters, but I'd be damned if I know. I don't know. Well, obviously, my character is the main character, but I think her storyline is going to open up some huge things later on. I'm not sure why, but that's what I'm thinking so far. So that's it for tonight. I'll be back again tomorrow night for another 4. Because I'm a man of my word. I'm going back to my first year of Droid's Finest, and I'm going to do 4 episodes a night, post 2 every night, Except I'm not doing Saturdays and Sundays like I did in my first year. My second year was kind of just whatever, whenever. But now, heading into the third year, let's get back to the basics. Right back to the beginning. Anyways, stay tuned and I'll see you soon. Peace!